I don't have any tooth. I'll admit it. I will brag. Those players did not just go and whip that ass for us to be like, oh, good game. No, we whipped your ass. We took $800,000. Now we're partying with it.
Yeah, who cares if you're in the Power 5 conference if you don't win it, ever? Or you don't beat any of the teams in it? Like, what's the point of that? Wouldn't you rather win the conference and say, like, hey, my team is good, than lose the conference and say, well, our conference is good?
Look, they don't call me Tip for nothing. And my tip is, look out for the Group of 5 this season. They've been taking it to the Power 5 year after year.
The only quarterbacks that ever get any love are from the Power 5. I can easily list off the top Group of 5 quarterbacks I would rather have than those guys. I would be willing to bet that at least one of them is going to be in the running for the Heisman this year.
Down the middle, James, the lateral to the corner of the end zone. Can you believe that?
What's up, everybody? Group of 5 Guys podcast bowl game preview episode coming to you. Before we go any further, you guys make sure you hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube. Give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Follow us on all the social media platforms at Group of 5 Guys. Go to group-of-5guys.com. Get you some Group of 5 Guys swag. We're going to talk about most of these bowl games, preview them, pick them. It's a wild, wild west during bowl season. Nobody knows who's playing, what coaches are around, who's in the portal. We don't know. Before we go around the horn and make it a lighthearted show, as we always do, we've got to pay our respects to Mike Leach. Mississippi State head coach passed away over the weekend here. And, we have had the pleasure to talk to a couple coaches under his tree. Matt Mumme out of Colorado State, Coach Hamilton at Texas State, coming from that air raid tree. Great dudes that we've had the pleasure to meet. And, I mean, you can't think of a coach with more personality in a world of coaches that have no personality. Mike Leach was the freaking light. So, I guess we'll just, thoughts and prayers with his family, with all the Mississippi State folks. I know Jesse's got a story. I know Murph's got a clip to play. But, terrible news. That sucks, man. We lost a good one.
Yeah, I mean, the story I had is just my dad was just honored about 20 years ago in his previous life, where Dad worked with a sports agency, and they were working on getting D'Amico Ryans. If you remember that guy, he was a middle linebacker for Alabama. They were trying to get him signed as a player for them before he entered the draft. They went to the Hall of Fame, NCAA Football Hall of Fame banquet up in New York City. And after the banquet, they're sitting at, I think the Armani, really nice hotel at a bar. And him and his team, they met Mike Leach, and he sat down with him at the table, had a couple of drinks. And, they said that Mike Leach was just having the whole table just bent over laughing. He was kind enough. He told him he's going to get him sideline passes because that particular year, Alabama was playing Texas Tech in the Cotton Bowl that year. However, an agency that's trying to sponsor D'Amico Ryans could not be on the Texas Tech side, but Mike Leach was not taking no for an answer. And they said that Dad just said, for a guy as popular as he was in the coaching world at the time, being at Texas Tech, and they had that team on the rise, down to earth, just a 5-star personality. So really, really hate to hear what happened. I think the college football world lost somebody special this week.
Heard that. Jeff, you got some clips, some funny clips from his post-game or pre-game stuff going on?
Yeah, absolutely. And just echo what those guys said, his thoughts and prayers to the family and coaches and all the coaches that were under Mike Leach's tree. I mean, you got tons of coaches that have gone on to coach at other places. So just a special guy, and just want to play kind of the best of, really funny moments of, because he was hilarious. So we'll just get right to it.
Candy corn. What's your favorite Halloween
Candy
game?
corn. I mean, I completely hate candy corn. When I was a kid, gummy bears. Let's see. Gummy bears for sure.
Sour or regular?
The Haribo. It's got to be the Haribo ones. And then the other thing I like is when they used to have the sprees in a box. Outstanding. You have to go to the dollar store to find it.
You've been speaking to the officials all night. What's your reaction to some of those calls in the first half?
What's your reaction? You're watching the same game I am. I think you ought to comment on it positive or negatively, whatever's running through your mind. The best wisdom I can possibly give on that subject, 9 days, and it's a little late. You should have come to me sooner. My wisdom would be you have to stay out of the way. Now, and I wish you a very happy marriage, and I'm sure you'll have one. But I'm just telling you, when it comes to marriages, the women lose their mind. Your fiance is going to lose her mind. Your mother-in-law is going to lose her mind. Your mom is going to lose her mind. Several of your sisters and female relatives are going to lose their mind, and they're gonna barrage you with constant questions. What are you marrying?
His name is Trevor.
Okay, yeah, well, I'll have to set up a meeting and I'll talk to him. Okay, so where's Trevor from?
He's from Florida.
What does Trevor do for a living?
He works in sports as well, covers football.
He does what?
He covers football as well.
Really? Well, I don't know. We'll keep a close eye on it, but whatever you and Trevor decide, I would kind of keep it on the down low, which you failed to do that. Trevor was probably planning to, but you didn't. So go ahead and don't say anything else about it, but as soon as the season's over, or even an off week, go elope. Trust me on that. Go elope. Because basically every female in the family is going to terrorize you guys until it's over. Once it's over, I mean, they'll be upset for a few days, but it'll be over. And then, you cruise along, have a happy marriage, have a happy life.
I'll pass along the message. Thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win.
Trevor, unless he's crazy, is totally on my side. And trust me on this. If Trevor doesn't have the sense to do that, tell him to call me, because, I mean, he needs to do trust. I've told all my kids, I'll give you $10,000 extra if you elope. So far, they haven't done it, but
We certainly have before. We didn't win this one, and I don't care to have a big discussion with you on it because I really don't care what you think. And you run your mouth in your little column and stuff like some sanctimonious troll.
we failed to make our coaching points and our points more compelling than their fat little girlfriends. Now, their fat little girlfriends have some obvious advantages. For one thing, their fat little girlfriends are telling them what they want to hear, which is how great you are and how easy it's going to be.
The entire first half, we got hit in the mouth and acted like somebody took our lunch money, and all we wanted to do was have pouty expressions on our face until somebody daubed our little tears off and made us feel better. And then, then we'd go out there and try harder once our mommies told us we were okay.
Place to do it, and once in a while a pirate can beat a soldier,
Yeah. R.I.P. Mike Leach, man. He's one of a kind for sure.
That's great stuff. I could listen. I've watched like the best of Mike Leach 4 or 5 times today. That stuff is great, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, definitely a tough, unexpected loss too. So, interesting to see what Mississippi State does here moving forward, and what that means for the Group of 5. I don't know. As far as, coaching search and whatnot, I don't know how quickly they'll move on that. But we're going to keep the show lighthearted, funny, happy. That's what we do. So I'm going to go around the horn, see how everybody's doing. Swag Bear, how are you?
Happy to be here, Matthew. Doing well. Excited for the bowl season to get here. Kind of bittersweet for bowl season because I love doing the bowl pick'ems. I love seeing how many I can actually get right, which is usually bare minimum. Bowl games are getting harder and harder to predict because you don't know who's sitting out, who's going to the NFL, which team wants to be there, which team does not. But hey, excited for it. We still have college football. It's still living because God bless it. In a couple months, we're all depressed.
Yeah. Heard that. It's great now, especially if if you're able, or if you're working from home, or if you have a flexible job, or you're in the car all the time. You have football every day of the week, starting at 11 a.m. most of the time, Eastern time. So, I mean, it's good stuff. You got football every day, and the more football, the better, as far as I'm concerned. Tyler Tipton, how we doing this evening?
Doing fantastic, boys. Yeah, I'm excited about these bowl games. I love they'll have some of those days where, like you mentioned, they're going to have games starting, 11 o'clock, and they're just going to go all day. Can't wait for that. Excited to watch these games and excited to talk about these matchups. And yeah, what Swagbear was talking about, I've been trying to keep up with all this Group of 5 news, all the transfer portal news, NFL commitment news, who's playing in the bowl games, who isn't going to play in the bowl games. To be honest, boys, I'm more lost than Tua was for the Miami Dolphins against the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. I mean, Sprouse, what is going on? I thought the Dolphins were back.
Guys, well, first of all, Tennessee Titans fan, you're still dealing with a decade-old problem that the Dolphins have dealt with, and that's Ryan Tannehill. So you better bite your tongue. The Miami Dolphins, it does not matter. The minute that Matt Sprouse starts to believe is when the Dolphins let me down. Normally, it's like, hey, I came in a little hot there. My apologies. Normally, Dolphins, free agency, or, you have a decent draft, and I'm like, I'm feeling good about this. And then week 1, they get their ass kicked by the Bills or the Patriots, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm off the bandwagon. Not this year. This year, they come out the gate 3-0, and I'm like, we got a chance. And then they lose 3 in a row, and I'm back off, and I'm like, well, same old Dolphins. And then they win 5 in a row, and I'm like, Super Bowl contenders, no doubt. Nobody can stop our offense. These last 2 weeks, I mean, Tua on Sunday Night Football, I promise you, I am not exaggerating. The throws he was making in the first half, are some throws that I would probably make. Like, just not even anywhere near anybody. Now, I don't know if it was his fault. I'm not smart enough to know if maybe the receivers ran the wrong route. I know Tyreek Hill's a little banged up. I know Waddle's banged up. But we're going to end up scratching and clawing into the playoffs, going to freaking Baltimore, which is the same thing we did circa 2009, I think. And they are going to blast the Miami Dolphins in that first round. And I'll probably, if they make it somewhere where I can drive to it, I'll probably nut up and travel to this game, because the Dolphins haven't been in the playoffs in so damn long, and I will be completely let down.
I feel sorry for all 3 of you, with your Dolphins and Tips Titans and Jeff, those Las Vegas Raiders. But I will say, my Philadelphia Eagles are phenomenal this year, and I am having a blast watching them. Being a diehard fan since I was 2.5.
Yeah, you and Vince Papali. Yeah. When you started saying this, I was like, here he goes. Normally he says the Green Bay Packers, but they're bad too. I was like, yeah, who's he going to say? Is he going to bring up?
I should have said the Cowboys.
Yeah. I messed up.
Should have said the Cowboys.
Unbelievable. Yeah, Tip. I am. And I don't know. The thing is, like, I don't watch the NFL as much as I certainly not as much as I do college football. So if the Dolphins are not on, like, I'm not going to order or stream the game. I just will keep up with it. I'm not going to watch it. And I had the pleasure. I was telling my wife about it all day. I was like, we got the Dolphins game tonight, so I'm looking forward to this. And it was ugly quick. And
he had 10 completions. He completed 10 passes.
Yeah,
10.
Dude. The best play of the game was a fumble, and Tyreek Hill happened to be in the right place at the right time, which that was a crazy play, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
And I've been defending Tua, because everybody talks about Herbert like he's the next best thing, but the guy's got like a career 500 record. So I don't know what the, hype was. And I'm like, Tua's a winner. Who cares about Herbert having better stats? Tua's a winner. And Herbert looked like Joe Montana. And Tua looked like the guy that played on the 85-pounders Northeast Rebels when I was playing at 8 years old.
Well, Sprouse, none of it's worse than my Las Vegas Raiders, but I've been used to it. Yeah. I'm numb to it.
Jeff, I think about you every Sunday. I'm not even sad to say that because I watch these Raiders and I've lost with you, brother. I think I put money on them. I'm the reason your team's doing bad.
Don't.
And
No, it's not. We've been this way for a
You
decade.
could be up by 20-something points in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left, and somehow they'll get 3 onside kicks, and you're sitting there. With
Well, I tell you how you
What
do
in
it,
the world?
Swag, and then we got to move on. But you get the lead, and then you play not to lose instead of playing to win. It's the time-tested, true mantra. You have to stay aggressive. You cannot run the ball. They only threw the ball 7 times. In the second half. 7 times.
That's like the Fun Belt guys. That's John Summerall in your closet haunting your ass.
It's okay. The Raiders are going to get Tom Brady next year. They're going to change that whole program, change everything around. I agree, Jeff.
Tom Brady. He's
No, you're good. Keep going.
No. I'm just over here. Yeah. Anyway, really, I've actually enjoyed this NFL season while he's over here fixing his poster. I'm in the playoffs for fantasy football. I'll probably have the best team all around in fantasy football. I'm probably going to bring home some money in fantasy football, and I'm just pretty much the fantasy football guru. What was that face there? I know. Joe's hot.
I think you're
Joe's
the only
hot.
guy out of these 4, if I'm not mistaken, that hasn't won a championship yet.
Holy crap, I am. Oh, I'm due.
Well, hold on. Let me tell you.
I have not won one
Team
yet.
Tipton, Ty Watson from your Atrocious Award a week ago, Joe Scott, Jeff Murphy, Joe Scott, repeat champion, and defending champion Matthew J. Sprouse.
And I will say this, and this is the only time I'll admit it. I'm scared. I'm going into the playoffs.
You know what?
I'm playing Joe Scott, and I'm like, God bless it. I know he's going to beat me this week. I was praying Caskey would somehow slip up and let me play him this week. But here I am playing Joe Scott, whose team is on fire.
You in fantasy football is like you when you get 1 out of 7 bets right. Like you come on
a
all,
lot of bets right. Though,
all cocky and arrogant, and you're all giddy about your success, and you wonder why people are rooting for your demise. You're the only guy that does it. When I won it last year, I was not saying a word. Everybody was like, Sprouse's team's damn good. And I was not saying a word.
I don't think I've said a lot this year. I've been pretty low key. And this is like my 4th or 5th time making the playoffs. I've been pretty low key, Jeff. I've been low key.
You've been,
I've been way worse.
That's what you call low
That's
key.
what you call low key. Then you got a problem, son. Hey, anyway, Jeff Murphy, I haven't gotten to you. How are you this fine evening?
I'm doing great. Ready for bowl season, like you guys said. And, man, we got some great matchups. And I cannot wait to watch them. Can't wait to talk about them. And I think we're going to have a couple shocking upsets that some people might not think.
Like they mentioned on the Fun Belt podcast that we were on earlier, the ESPN and the bowl games, they do that on purpose. They try to make a nice little – it's like WWE. They try to find 2 teams that's going to have a good storyline to get more viewers because the matchups that we have, you can't – this doesn't just happen. I mean, these are planned perfectly. Quarterbacks playing against their old teams, 2 teams with the same record that are trying to get to, better their program. It's exciting for this bowl season.
Yeah, no question is. But before we get to it, Swag, do you have a Atrocious Award for this week?
After last week and my rant, I told myself, I was like, okay, I probably should just put the Atrocious Award in my pocket, just walk away till 2023 season. And then I went to Atlanta Bread today to get my dinner after my long workout at One Life Fitness. And I'm sitting there.
How many days in a row are you at now?
Ever since that week before we went to Troy. So whatever that is times that. I don't know, I go about 5 or 6 times a week. And anyway, neither here nor there. I look the exact same
for you.
But I'm sitting in line there, and this is gonna be a quick Atrocious. We're actually, Jeff, cue me in. There is something atrocity happened today and Jeff, I guarantee you'll relate to this. It's Atrocious. It's Atrocious. I just want to go get me a healthy little dinner at Atlanta Bread. And I'm sitting there, and this lady is ordering all these cakes and pies, ordering these muffins and stuff. And I'm like, come on, lady, let's go. I'm not mad that she's ordering a lot of food. I get it. Got to eat. I think that she's talking to the lady that's putting all this stuff in the box. She's on her damn phone talking to somebody while this lady's staring at her, and she's trying to explain, do you need anything else? Do you need anything else? if you can't hang up the phone while you're trying to order food, one, it's not just you're being rude to the people that are trying to service you. You're being rude to the people in line behind you that have places to go. Have some couth, hang up the phone, be an adult, order your food, and then call your friend when you get out of the freaking restaurant. I hate that. I literally was cussing her while she was in front of me. Over here's like, oh, hang on one second. Excuse me, what'd you need? What'd you need? Why don't you hang up your phone and tell what you want to eat? Hang up your phone, you're ordering food. It's atrocious. It's atrocious. It's atrocious.
You'll get thrown right out of Domenico's Italian Deli if you give me the one moment finger and you're on the phone. I give him the old, soup Nazi from Seinfeld. I give him the sandwich Nazi. Next, and just move on.
I'm pretty rude. I know I'm rude. I'm not politically correct.
Yeah, you don't want to say hi to the nice gym people at the front desk when you're walking in.
They did it again today, and I just anyway. No, but man,
no, that's bad.
It's so rude. So rude.
And then was she on an actual phone or was she on the AirPods?
She was like this, dude. AirPod, I can give you.
I think the AirPods
she's
are worse.
Over here like, oh no, but she's like this right here, talking to her friend. Like, yeah, and he was all like, over at her house. I was like, no, it's her baby daddy. And then she's like saying, "Oh, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, I'll take the blueberry muffin." Yeah, and so I told him, "Oh yes, was that? Oh yeah, and can I get one of those croissants?" And it kept going for like 5 minutes. It was bad. It was atrocious.
That's brutal. What's that? Atlanta bread's kind of like Panera, huh?
Well, I do, man. It's pretty comes out. Probably one of the second best sandwiches I've ever had. No, Panera. I'm going to give Domenico's #1 always.
Oh, look at that save.
No, I know. I wasn't going to say it's the best sandwich I had. No, you got it. The Soprano all day, every day. But I will say, Atlanta bread. When you go to Panera, and I'm not hating on Panera here, but they always put that little piece of bread in your bag too, and it's stellar in hell. And this place gives you nice. Yeah, this place is actually fresh. It's soft. Very impressed. Very impressed with it. Atlanta bread.
Yeah. Cool deal. Yeah.
Plus Panera. God, you go in there and get a soup and a sandwich, you spend $42.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, I'm with you on that account there, Jess. I mentioned it before, guys, but Christmas is upon us. You still got time. Group5guys.com. You got all kinds of good stuff on there. Your wives, your husbands, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your sons, your daughters, your moms, dads would love a Group of Five Guys hoodie or T-shirt. Order it now. Yes, sir.
Sprouse, a question here. If somebody were to want a hat, I've had several people reach out to me and said they really love our hats. How do they get a hat? Do we have that on the website, or do they just need to contact me and I reach out to you?
We're working on going to a new company that will have the hats.
Okay.
At the moment, I don't have a real answer for you. Yeah, I mean, they can get with me. I get them locally and I can ship them. But
okay. Well,
I would tell them, I'm with you. I would tell them though to hold off for a couple weeks till we're on the website, because you're gonna pay more if you got to pay me, and then I got to pay for shipping, and then you're gonna wait and all that. So
understood.
But yeah, coming soon. We should have hats on there. You guys, for bowl season, I can't wait to see what Prize Picks has to offer for these player props, because it's going to be games every day, and it's going to be college football. I'm over here playing player props with freaking esports. I'm putting money on how many kills these guys are going to get. To be quite honest with you, I'm having pretty good luck, because I'm just taking I don't know anything about it, so I'm just like, that guy seems like he's the star of the team. You pick him. But that's on there. But we should have college football. Yeah, you can play on esports.
What's esports?
Video games.
Are you kidding me? You're betting on kids in video games?
Yeah.
Bro, I play Fortnite every night. Bet on me.
Well, I'll look for Swag Bear to have a certain amount of kills.
Can you bet on like Ninja? Okay. I didn't know this. I had no idea that.
You play cool. I don't know I don't even know what game it is. It seems like it's like Call of Duty or something, because it's you're betting on you're picking their kill count.
You've actually done this?
Yeah.
That is.
Tell you right now, I've got one. I won the other night on. I'll tell you.
How are y'all just like sitting here nonchalantly? Like, this is hilarious.
Well, you should take a look at the app every once in a while. You might know that it's on there.
I walked into that one, didn't I?
Yeah, Knock of Apex G had 24 kills the other night. I picked him over 21.5, and then Notice of EC Brug Had only
To be fair,
he had only 13 kills against the Apex. He was supposed to get 15.5. I took the under.
when I open the app, it goes automatically to football. I'm on the football, so I didn't know you can go to other sports. And I mean, I knew you could go to other sports. I didn't know. Then you can do video games.
Yeah, well,
I don't know how you get like stats, anything on that. That's just it's amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
Anyway, but yeah, Prize Picks. Use our promo code GOFG. They'll match you 100% of your initial deposit. Let's get to this bowl preview. Jeff, we'll get through a couple, and then we can hit your Southern Roots commercial there.
Hold on, hold the phone, boys.
What do you got?
We gotta get to some voicemails.
Oh, we got voicemails.
We gotta get to some
Holy cow.
voicemails.
I mean, we got today's Jeff.
Only a couple. We got 3.
Sorry, I was trying to get out of here. I was trying to watch Selling the OC.
No.
It's a good one. I do like those real estate shows, actually. But
No, you're good. No, those are good shows. But no, yeah,
put
the
me
hotline had a couple calls this week. No games, but still had some faithful callers call in and give their opinion on a few matters. And as always, hit the hotline at 615-900-4286. We want your hottest take, especially in this offseason coming up. It's going to be a lot of coaching changes, transfer portal news. It's impossible for us to keep up with every single team. Call in, let us know what's going on, give your opinion, and we'll talk about it. So we'll just get right to them. Had 3, if I'm not mistaken, voicemails. One was a 2-parter. And let's go to Zachary. And I almost got through all of them without having to use the bleep button. But old Terry Johnson took care of that. But start off with Zachary Brenner.
Top of the morning to you, group of 5 guys. It's Zachary Brenner. It's gonna be a chill call. It's bowl week. Very excited. We got the meets this week. Pretty excited. Very, very good offense we're facing. Excited to see how our defense will respond. Gunner's been played perhaps his best game of his career against Coastal Conference Championship game, but that is the past. It's a new week. It's another championship we got to go win. I'm excited. But shout out to you guys all season long dealing with my vulgar mouth. At times it can be atrocious, but again, shout out to you guys. Y'all are all amazing. Even you, Swag Bear. You're about as big as a bear. You look pretty cuddly. So this winter time, have fun, sir. Take that.
I have lost.
But,
22
shout out to you guys. I appreciate you all very much. Y'all are amazing. And I'm excited for this week. Ready to go 1-0. Shout out to all you UTSA fans. It's going to be a fun one. Enjoy yourself. I do have some questions, though, as to, I am a little bit biased as to why Carlton Martial still has not been invited to the Senior Bowl. I know it's hopefully coming. We all thought he was going to get the Burlsworth, but, don't know what happened there. That was atrocious. He didn't get it. But, I believe he will. But, and then my big atrocious thing here is they classified our bowl game as the 4th best bowl game, but we're playing on a Friday at 2 p.m. I don't get it. So I'm interested to see what y'all feel about it. But, shout out to you guys. Looking forward to the game. Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
2 p.m. game. We talked about it last week. It's such a good matchup, but both of these teams deserve to be on a bigger stage, in my opinion. But I'm gonna watch it. So
I think they should also be on a bigger stage. I don't think it's more. When I first saw it, I was like, "Dang, it's such an early bowl." Which, granted, UTSA and Troy players are probably ecstatic about, but you would think this would be closer to after Christmas kind of bowl. But the 2 p.m., I don't understand that. I don't get why that's 2 p.m. Is a Cincinnati Louisville game? That's the primetime game that night, I imagine. And I would put the UTSA Troy game over that easily.
Yeah, I mean there's not even a question there. I mean this has been one of the best bowl games that I'm looking forward to out of all of them. That includes Tulane USC. So I mean I don't understand it at all. And the fact that Carlton Martial has not been invited to the Senior Bowl might be the
what do we have to do?
Biggest snub.
I've been in Jim
life.
Nagy's DMs. I've been tweeting at him. I mean, I'm trying. You gotta get a petition signed. Here's an interesting fact for you, though. Actually, that's the last game on Friday. So there's no Friday night games.
Wow.
Oh, so that's the last one.
And Cincinnati Louisville's the only.
How in the Sam hell does that make sense? Why would you have a bowl game at night and make it at 2 o'clock?
Dude, they're playing the Bahamas Bowl at 11:30 Eastern on Friday.
That's in the Bahamas. I can get like the hours. I don't know.
That's
That's you're
I'm
asking.
sure
That's too hard
Bahamas
of a question. I don't
Eastern
know
time zone, but
okay, whatever. But I don't understand why it has to be. It's a Friday, and they always
It's
play
all
in these
weird. They
freaking
always do that
games. It's
stuff,
like,
yeah.
well, people probably on vacation with their families and Christmas break. No, man, some of us have to work for a living, and I'm going to be home watching it. But some people are going to be having to work and have to make ends meet. And they're going to be able to catch this game.
I'm going to have it on at the deli, playing that game for everyone to see and everyone that comes in. But who is UTSA? And I'll have to explain to them the whole spiel.
Sounds like Zachary wants to cuddle with me.
Teams in the country. But Zachary, appreciate it as always, and man, appreciate the kind sentiments towards us.
Lost 23 pounds.
Congratulations, Jesse. I'm proud of you, buddy.
I'll cuddle with you, though.
And he's a good cuddler. There's no doubt about
Jeff
that.
would know. Tito would know. Actually, all three of these boys will know.
Yeah. But keep them coming, man. Keep them coming the off season, and we appreciate you calling in every week. So now we'll get to our boy Steeple_PC_51. Answered some questions that we had last week.
Fantastic.
Hey, Group of Five guys. This is Steeple_PC_51. Thought I'd give you a call. It's a relaxing week of just watching the NFL. A little bored. But I wanted to call you guys just to reiterate some questions y'all might have. My son is a redshirt senior. He does have a COVID year. He's still up in the air about returning. He is going to play in the bowl game. He's been playing with an injured wrist. He's playing through injury. He always does that. I hate it, but he's a trooper. He want to be there for his team. He said they're excited. They're having a lot of fun, getting ready and prepped. Stag is going to end up coaching. I think that might be a good thing because it might let somebody else call the defense, and that could be positive. They're looking forward to going to get the 10 wins, and that'll still be great for the program. And my son needs, I think, 5 catches to become the all-time single-season record holder for Coastal. So looking forward to him getting those catches. He's pretty much hype about it. I think Grace McCall has been practicing to play in the bowl game. So, Grayson might end up calling his own plays. A lot of the assistant coaches are undecided because a lot of them are going to Liberty. So I think it's going to be a fun thing. I mean, he said his attitude's up, spirit's up, things looking good. But on another note, once again, want to congratulate Troy. The guys did an excellent job. They should be playing in I think that UTSA game that I think they're supposed to play in the bowl. It's going to be a barn burner, pulling for the Sun Belt. And you guys, y'all can make it down. I'm going to be there. And if you guys can make it down, we're first round's on me. Anyway, love the forum. It's been great. Terry, Crembele, Zach, Stick, all you guys, let's keep this up. And if my son stays another year, I'll be on here consistently. Again, love this forum, guys. Love this forum. And Bear, yeah, you're my favorite. You guys,
love you too.
All y'all are close second, so don't get to the start.
Part 2.
Sorry, guys, but I had a question for you guys when I'm calling back. Did all you guys play offensive linemen at Middle Tennessee State? And if you did, then we're mortal enemies because I played linebacker at Presbyterian College. So I'm really not supposed to like you guys, but But when I see you, I am going to buy you a round of drinks. And since Bear's my favorite, I'm going to buy him too. That's all I really want. And looking forward to meeting you guys. And I'm going to support y'all all the way. And telling all my friends and family they've been listening. So absolutely love the show. All right, guys. Talk to you later. And Merry Christmas.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that right there.
I'll tell you what, yeah, that made me happy.
Yeah.
You know what? I can see his son, which also fantastic. The guy's going to potentially break a single season record against East Carolina. That's phenomenal. He's coming back, and I'm going to call it right here. He might be going to be with Liberty, but if he's not, whatever. Steeple PC, class act, loved every call. You come in here, and yes, Steeple, we all four played offensive line at Middle Tennessee.
Not a chance.
Jeff Murphy was the right guard.
did.
Well, we got to answer the question. Me and Sprouse played offensive lineman. Jeff Murphy's a quarterback. Tyler Tipton, #1 fan.
I was the #1 fan. That's right.
No doubt about it. And I appreciate the inside information. I mean, Mason McCall's practicing. Spirits are up. I mean, it might sway my pick
Blues?
a little bit.
Y'all seen Varsity Blues? That's how that game's going to be. He's going to be in that huddle calling every play.
I love
that gives me a little inclination that Steeple's kid's going to catch some balls because
hyper target him. Give him 5 catches. He's 87
plays.
yards away from 1,000 yards.
Yep.
Let's throw the ball to Sam Pinkney, please.
Yeah, that's great.
100%.
You know, say what you want about Coastal. They, again, we're looking at it like they had a bad year. They might win 10 games.
Yeah.
And they've won 10 games a lot as of late. They've only been around. They hadn't been a program that long. A lot of 10-win seasons.
Yeah.
So,
well, appreciate you, Steeple. Keep them coming, even the off season. And we'd love to, whenever your son makes that decision, what he's going to do, we'd love to break the news. So,
and can we also say, Jeff, just because your son decides to hang it up and join the real world, Steeple, you can still call here every week next year and let us know about your Coastal love.
Well, I'd just like to know what the next beverage are on, because you put us on I didn't even know Yingling flights existed. So obviously you got a good.
Well, for 5 weeks, I thought he was drinking a flight of different Yinglings. And then sure as hell we saw him in San Antonio. So not a bad drink.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get together at some point and be able to have a couple cold ones with you. Be nothing better. And we'll get to our last caller. Made me pull out the bleep button. Good old Terry Johnson.
Maybe Steeple plays a little golf.
That's not a bad idea.
Hey, group of 5 guys, Terry Johnson here. Just wanted to call. I don't know if I'm calling a little late, calling Monday. Don't know if I'm going on the podcast, but, I'm just calling, the NCAA kind of needs to step in and do some things with this whole transfer portal, coaching carousel, opting out type of thing with going to the bowl season, because I'm looking forward to a lot of bowl games, and a lot of guys, whether they're on like my squad or other squads, ain't gonna play because they're gonna go into the bowl game, and it's not gonna be that exciting of a bowl game because they're either opting out or in the transfer portal. Somebody's got to pay, like the bowl season, got to pay these guys NIL deals or something to make them want to play. Because I'm still gonna watch the game, but it's just not gonna be as exciting if the best players on the team just ain't gonna play. Like if Kyle Van Treese wasn't gonna play against Buffalo, his former team, but if he wasn't playing that game, putting up numbers, I wouldn't be interested in watching that game if like the best players on the team ain't playing. Shout out to Georgia Southern fans out there. And, vice versa. There's some UL players that are opting out, which whatever. I mean, like, it is what it is. I get it. But somebody's got to step in and be like, hey, pay these guys some NIL money or entice these dudes to play. And also, guys, like the transfer portal window's got to happen after the bowl season, because that just makes everything up in the air. You know what I'm saying? Looking still forward to bowl season. Who knows? UL plays Houston. Tank didn't opt out, so he probably gonna put up a whole lot of numbers. Hey, I'm not really, super hopeful as far as the bowl game just because the talent that Houston has and how we've looked. But hopefully, maybe a miracle could happen. You know what I'm saying? But last thing I'm gonna say, COVID Carolina fans, I saw your boy enter the portal. I told you. The call's a baller. He ain't sticking around for that. Piss and teal. He's going to enter the portal, and he gonna leave y'all in the dust. I told y'all. But all I gotta say, y'all keep that same motherfucking energy y'all had the past 3 seasons talking all that. I better not see anybody say, I was always a South Carolina fan or a Clemson fan. No. I have more respect for you if you're a Kobe Carolina fan and you've been with them from an 0-12 season and an undefeated season. I will have more respect for that type of fan than those that run away and be like, I never was even though I graduated there, I never cheered for them. They suck. No. Keep that same fucking energy. Keep that same energy. Because when y'all get your asses whooped, I want y'all to all be talking shit on the Twitters and everything and in my DMs like y'all always been. All right? Y'all know me. Teddy Gallagher. You hear me? All right? Talk that same shit. Okay? God bless Group of 5. God bless Group of 5 guys. Go Cajuns.
Appreciate it, Terry, as always. And he's got some good points about this damn transfer portal now.
Well, he does, but he's saying something that I thought of, but it would never work. You can't wait till after bowl season because school's already started, and then you can't enter a transfer portal because you can't start the next semester because school's already started. I mean, you're right. You're all looking confused at me. Am I not making sense? Because the bowl season's ended like January 6th. School starts January 7th. So you have 12 hours, put your name in there.
That depends. I was going to say it depends on the school. Because
that's true. Some schools
at middle, classes don't start back to like the 21st or 22nd, something like that.
How long of a breaks do they get?
My God.
Well, I'm just regular students. I don't know what that means for the players.
Yeah, but maybe that's just. I thought you got like 2 weeks off of school.
I don't know.
Oh yeah,
you know how it is. You know how it is now, Sprouse. These kids are getting off for everything.
Yeah, fall break, winter break, Christmas break, spring break, Easter break.
If you don't want to take exam, you just say you have COVID.
That wouldn't work with Professor Murphy. Let me tell you, engineering teacher over at MTSU. She doesn't put up with it.
She make him go to class.
I mean, you better have documentation.
God, I wouldn't have taken her class.
Well, no offense, but none of you strike me as engineers.
No, not an engineer. I took an engineering course at the United States Air Force Academy Preparatory School, to which I failed. So, did not take it again. Then I went on to take music theory at middle.
Yeah, I don't think the old senior concrete logistics analyst could handle an engineering class either. So.
Yeah, me? No,
no. The other senior logistics analyst in this group.
No, I actually these floating shells here.
You didn't do them.
Yeah, me and my neighbor did them. Yeah, I am not exactly your handyman.
Yeah, you don't even have a ladder, for Christ's sakes.
Michaela married me for several reasons, but a handyman was not one of them.
Oh man, well, I appreciate you
detail on that.
Appreciate you guys calling in. Keep them coming, even in the off season. We'll let you know what our schedule is once we get it kind of hammered down. But keep those.
Get to
calls
these bowl
coming.
games.
We want to hear from you for sure. But before these bowl games, real quick.
Oh yeah.
Got to shout out one of our partners, Southern Roots Radio. Go check them out, southernrootsradio.com, on the social media at Southern Roots Radio. It's an online radio station. They're absolutely fantastic people over there, and they just put on a great product, great music, Americana, country style, all different types of artists. I always learn about new artists when I listen to them, and it's connecting the storytelling and twang from classic Music Row, the grit and blues from Beale Street, and the rhythm and soul coming out of the Singing River and Muscle Shoals. So go check those guys out. They play our show Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Central, and Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. Central Time.
Speaking of Muscle Shoals
Mm-hmm.
and Florence, Alabama, UNA almost had a swag bear as an alumnus back in the day. Our guy Brent Dearman, head coach.
Yep.
Stadium expansion has been announced. sounds like a group of 5 team in the making.
I think
Boys
so.
and girls, the Lions.
They've been talking about it for years.
Well, they're going to
it's
be.
Gonna happen.
They're going. They've been playing like D2, and they're going to be FCS. I think this year. I mean, I know they got. I think they're going to be in the conference with like UT Chattanooga and Martin and them. But
back 10 years ago, or maybe around 09 to 10, they had Terry Bowden. That was at UNA. He was the one that was recruiting me, but he was the original Deion Sanders before Deion went to Jackson State. He was getting all these 5 stars and transfers from Power 5 coming, not 5 stars, that's a lie, but he was getting all these Power 5 guys going to UNA and making them just a powerhouse for Division II. And then the talk around town was, hey, they're going to get up to 1AA, even Division One. Now, granted, at the time I was like, really? I don't see that happening. Oh, by God, it's happening. They're gonna grow, and they're gonna be probably a group of 5 school. I'm calling it Swag Bear. Logistically, I'm gonna say about 5 years you're gonna have them in a group of 5.
Maybe quicker than that. Here's what. And I will be the eyes and ears on this, boys and girls, because I am in Florence often due to my in-laws living nearby. Watch what upgrading that football program does to the university and to the town of Florence, Alabama, and watch how everything in that area, you're going to see things you never thought. You're going to see home values all of a sudden are going to go up. You're going to see new businesses. You're going to see new bars, new restaurants, new stores, new shops. You're going to see everything. Tourism is going to go up in that area. You
So
just
what you're
watch.
saying is we need a group of 5 guy Airbnb house in Florence, Alabama.
Dude, when I lived there, I was paying like $400 a month for rent. A nice little duplex.
Jesus.
Should have never left.
It's a damn gas bill.
I know. That was prior to these times. There were some other things
Thanks,
happening.
I'm sorry. Don't delete that.
Anyway, bowl games. So here's the deal, guys. We got 5 opportunities. Group of 5 to take on Power 5s. We're going to talk about all 5 of those first, and then we're just going to go around the horn and tell you 1 or 2 games we're most intrigued by. Now, the only issue with these 5 group of 5 versus Power 5s, 2 of them are, I don't even consider necessarily group of 5 anymore. Depending on what happens this bowl season, I'll let you know my thoughts. First one, though, Fenway Bowl, Boston, Massachusetts, Cincinnati, Louisville. Storyline on this, if y'all saw, after Fickell left for the Wisconsin job, Louisville's coach Satterfield goes and takes the Cincinnati job.
It's that drama they build, man. WWE, Vince McMahon, Steve Austin.
So I don't even know if he's going to be in a box on the sideline. Which sideline? I mean, I don't know what his.
He's not
game
coaching.
plan
I
is.
know that he's not coaching the game.
But so you got Cincinnati versus Louisville, Fenway Bowl. Who you got? Swag.
I'm going to take Cincinnati in this one, and it's not just group of 5 guy bias. It's more that Malik Cunningham is not going to be playing, and in my opinion, he was Louisville. Without that guy, I think they lose 2 or 3 more ball games this season. Cincinnati is still Cincinnati. They had the top defense in the American Conference, total scoring defense. So look for Cincinnati. I'm not going to say put it on them, but it's going to be where it's like they control the game the whole time. So Cincinnati wins.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati had a couple guys on the defense either enter the portal or declare for the draft. But
that being said, Sprouse, Louisville has lost also, so they don't have Malik Cunningham. They're also not going to have their top receiver who is opting out, and their running back's opting out. So they're losing all their weapons on offense. Not all. Majority of their weapons on offense is not going to be playing.
Really interested to see not only how Cincinnati responds with losing Fickell, but how Louisville responds with their coach. You know, Big 12, ACC, relatively comparable, I would say, but you wouldn't think a school that's established already as a, relatively one of the better, one of the top 4 or 5 teams in the ACC go take a quote unquote downgrade. But give me Cincinnati. I think they'll be ready to go. Tip.
One thing I'm kind of worried about in this game, Ben Bryant's not playing, correct, for Cincy? He's hurt, right?
Jesse,
Well, just-
good.
Well, since he's back up, Evan Prater, he
Yeah, he has
struggled a
not
little
looked
bit in
good.
that AAC championship game
did.
against Tulane. So I'm worried they might try and lean on their running game on offense, which could make them become one dimensional. And then you got Louisville's defense going to force Evan Prater to beat them. It could slightly favor Louisville from that aspect. I don't know. This is going to be the battle of backup quarterbacks, backup coaches, interim coaches. It's a tough one. Louisville's favored by 1. I like Cincinnati. I like the experience on that team. I know they lost a lot of players, last year, but this team that has come together this year has looked good, in games, and so I'm gonna go with Cincinnati in this game.
Murph.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to pick Cincinnati, just kind of what Tip said, the experience factor. They do have 6 guys as of right now that are in the portal. So I assume they're not playing. I have no idea. Now, not all these guys are starters or anything like that. You got a couple of freshmen and stuff. But I just think Cincinnati, with the experience, they played in a lot of big games. But it's a pick 'em. I mean, it really is. And like you said, Tip, it's 2 backup quarterbacks going at it. You don't know really what you're going to get. Very small sample size, but just give me Cincinnati.
I wish there was a way I could pull up some statistical data to see, out of all, let's say 1,000 guys are in the portal from the Division I class of this 2022, how many of those 1,000 were actually, at least an 8-game starter, 8-game starter at least? Because I bet 70-75% are guys that are probably second team or third team. In my opinion.
Just from looking at social media, you see all the guys make their announcements and their graphics, and I would say 75% of them I'm thinking, who's that? Yeah. Or so I don't get it. Washington State versus Fresno State in the Jimmy Kimmel Live LA Bowl. Fresno was 3-point favorites. I don't know if it's still that. I'm just going to tell you, I like Fresno big in this one. I think they're rolling, right? I mean, they're as hot as anybody in the country as far as I'm concerned. Swag.
No, I agree. I'll keep it short and sweet. I think out of the Power 5 against Group of 5 games, this one here I'm most confident in. Sorry, Fresno. I think I like Fresno a lot in this. I think Fresno wins big.
Yeah. Murph, you're nodding your head. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go Fresno State. I mean, they were my team kind of from the beginning of the season. Jake Hayner's last hurrah. I think he's going to want to go out big. They're going to be throwing the ball on their field. And Fresno State faithful, when this was announced and they sold the first round of allotted tickets, completely sold out of the tickets that Fresno State was given to sell. So I think the Red Wave's going to travel. I mean, Fresno's not crazily far from LA. A lot further than Washington State. So I think they're going to travel, and I think Fresno State takes care of business.
Tip, are you going to talk some sense into us or what?
Jake Hayner is all the way back. Fresno State team is smoking hot right now. Yeah. This team has won 8 games in a row, and they've averaged 37 points per game on offense since Jake Hayner has come back from his injury. It's going to be 9 wins in a row after this bowl game. Washington State's defense has given up 267 passing yards per game. Now, Washington State, they do have a good offense. So I think this is probably going to be a high-scoring game, which means I like the over at 53.5.
Yeah, how is that so low?
I don't know, but take it
now.
Take it now, yeah.
But, yes, I like Fresno State with Jordan Mims, Jalen Cropper, Jake Hayner. They're going to win this game. They're favored by 3. They'll cover that.
Jeff, is Hayner, is he a senior this year?
He's going to the Senior Bowl.
Oh, this is his last hoorah to get some more good tape. Even though there's even been said on ESPN that he is a top NFL draft quarterback. So going to show out one last time.
To
get
me,
some Power 5 touchdowns.
I was going to say exactly that. He's kind of at that point where I think the people that matter know who he is, and they're watching him, and he's going to the Senior Bowl. I'm sure he's going to have a good showing there. But these bowl seasons, it's like we've talked about. It's like when the mid-major school plays in the NCAA tournament and some guy you've never heard of
Mhm.
drags his team to the Sweet 16 and becomes an NBA star, and you watch it. This is that game for Jake Haener, in my opinion, where he'll get on the national stage.
He needs Indianapolis to be like, holy crap, we want that guy at Fresno. He wants people in Green Bay, Wisconsin, like, all right, get rid of Aaron Rodgers. We'll take Jake Haener. That's exactly right.
Well, and I don't know if it helps him or hurts him that Fresno State with David Carr and Derek Carr. I don't know what.
Hey,
I
look,
mean, David Carr
Carr's
for
nuts.
sure.
Derek
didn't do well.
Carr,
Derek Carr, he's fine, I guess.
I don't know.
I guess if you could get a guy that's an NFL starter for multiple years, that's not
He's
a
been playing for
bust.
13 years.
Yeah,
He's
he's
not
fine.
13, but he's been playing for a while.
Yeah. Baylor versus Air Force, Armed Forces Bowl, Fort Worth, Texas. Swag?
Again, I've said this for the 5th time this season. I hate going first because I know whatever I say right here, the guy with the white group of 5 long sleeve is going to rip me a new one. Armed Forces Bowl, probably Air Force is going to be very hyped for this game. This is a group of 5 Power 5 I'm not exactly thrilled about. I like Baylor in this game. If they can just stop the run, when you play against a triple option team, I don't like triple option teams when you have weeks on weeks on weeks to prepare for them. I just don't. Saying that as a guy on my very last game, we played Navy and we lost. But Baylor, I think they can prepare for Air Force. They shut them down. They in the Armed Forces Bowl, they get up by 2 scores. Air Force can't come back. I'm taking Baylor in this game. Plus, it's also in Fort Worth. It's not. It's actually going to be probably close to be a home game for Baylor.
Maybe, but if you remember when we went down there, that was a damn Navy pep rally for a week.
It was.
So it's going to be like that for Air Force. But you're right. Baylor being in Texas and Baylor being, a little bit bigger brand than Middle Tennessee.
I like Baylor.
I mean, can we talk about how we got crapped on for that whole entire week down there?
What was that? What was his name? Roger Staubach.
Roger
that guy,
Staubach gives
what
a
coward.
speech as if our whole team and fan base is not in the room. He's showing highlights of Navy from 1942 beating the hell out of Middle Tennessee. And then the chair or whatever of the bowl game. Okay, sad news. He just got fired, Ken Niumatalolo. But, okay, that's the guy's name, Navy's coach. This guy, chair of the bowl game, gets up on stage, and he's like, really want to welcome Ken Niumatalolo. No stutter, no issue at all. And he's like, and Bill Stockwell or something like that. I mean, you remember that?
He messed up Rick Stockstill's name, but he said something in the University of Middle Tennessee, and they were all like, damn. And I tell you what, we may have lost that game, but we played a good Navy game. Rick Stockstill had us fired up for that bowl game. I felt more disrespected in my 5 years of college football than that bowl game. That bowl game was a nice bowl game. They did a horrible job of honoring 2 teams. They just honored one. So, you know what? I hope Baylor beats Air Force.
What? I don't think
celebrate the military.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that.
No.
Tip, go ahead with your pick on this. Tell Jesse why he's wrong.
No, I actually agree with what Jesse was saying. This game being played in Fort Worth is going to pretty much be a Baylor home game, I think. But we're going to ask the same question that we ask every time we talk about a team that's playing against Air Force. Can Baylor's defense stop an offense they haven't seen this season? I don't know. I mean, it's tough to tell. If Baylor's defense can force Air Force to be in third and long situations all game, then that means Air Force is more likely going to have to punt a lot because they're not going to convert those, and it could lead to Baylor winning this game. The flip side of that, though, if Air Force has some success running the ball and is effectively running the ball, controlling the clock, and they're going to keep this game close if that happens, and they'll have a chance to win. It's obviously hard to tell what's going to happen because we haven't seen Baylor play a team like this before. And Baylor doesn't really have the strongest defense. I mean, they're giving up 27 points a game on defense. I like Air Force to keep this game close. I don't know if they're going to win the game, but Baylor's favored by 6 right now. You know what? Throwing this in a parlay or something, I take Air Force plus 7 or 8 points.
I like it. Murph?
The Falcons are going to soar against the Baylor Bears. You want to know why? It's not the offense. It's the defense. I think this defense, who little underperformed this year at times, but I think they're going to be ready for Baylor. I think they're going to show up and show it. I think they're going to hold Baylor to 14 points.
Wow.
I really do. And then I think that offense is going to chew clock. I think they're going to score. I mean, give me like a 28-14 or 28-17. I think Air Force defense is going to come out ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, Air Force is only allowing 13 points a game. Baylor is coming off 3 straight losses. Air Force is coming off 4 straight wins and 5 out of their last 6 with a 5-point loss to Boise State. Yeah, I think Air Force. I think, they're a 9-3 team, got a chance to win 10 games. That's really tough to do, especially, at an academy. I think even though it's going to be in Texas, I do think we're going to see some sort of a, Air Force bias from the bowl game. I think crowd, I'm not real sure on the crowd. Air Force, it just depends on if I know there's a military base somewhere around Fort Worth. I don't know if Air Force has a base there, but that's typically going to be your crowd for that team. They're not going to travel from Colorado Springs necessarily. But yeah, give me Air Force on that game.
Air Force on all their losses has only been by 1 score. So
yeah, and in conference, they finished like 4th in the conference, 9-3 because they lost all conference games.
Beat Deion Sanders, Colorado by 40 points.
That's just because the Mountain West is the best Group of 5 conference in the country.
I suppose so.
Yeah, remember, Jeff? Aren't they like the fourth or 5th best, according to
someone on this podcast?
Probably the 4th best.
Yikes! They got the best They got the best crowds. That's for sure. UCF versus Duke in the Military Bowl. Duke opened up at 1-point favorites in this game. I got to be honest with you. I don't know anything about Duke. And UCF, I quit following after they were out of it. But I'll pick UCF to win, but I don't think this is going to be one of the least entertaining bowl games.
Yeah. I think the only Duke that's going to happen is UCF taking a Duke on the Blue Devils. I think UCF goes big over Duke. Gus Malzahn's not losing to Duke. That's all I got to say.
Tip.
Yeah, I don't understand this line. Duke favored 1.5. I mean, just overall, I feel like the ACC is down this season. Like, I think they're 8-4. Like, okay, I don't know. I don't see them stopping John Rice Plumlee. I don't see them stopping Javon Baker. I don't see them stopping Ryan O'Keefe. And I agree with the Swag Bear. I think UCF beats them bad.
The tides are turning on this show here tonight, guys. I mean, getting some agreements.
I'm a little worried.
I don't like it one bit. Murph, what do you think on that one?
We get a few stats here. Duke is 4-1 in their last 5 games, 3-2 in their last 5 games against the spread. All right. I think I'm just not sold on Gus Bus. I have no faith in that team. I don't know who's leaving, who's staying. Give me Duke. As much as I hate to pick against, UCF.
UCF, they're not
That's
one
right,
of us anymore.
They're leaving. Yeah, I'm taking Duke. Give me the Blue Devils.
Yeah.
You know what? No, we're going to keep the show the same. Screw UCF. I'm taking Duke. I forgot about that. Yeah. Give me Duke Blue Devils all day. Gus.
Well, here's the big one. Tulane, USC, Cotton Bowl. Don't know if he's playing or not because he got hurt. Is Heisman winner playing?
Yeah, he's playing.
He's playing.
He's playing.
So going against the Heisman Trophy winner. USC opened up 1.5-point favorites in this game. Swag Bear?
Gentlemen, let me just say
I
love Michael Pratt, and this is the second time he's going to be facing Lincoln Riley. This is Michael Pratt's second time he's facing Lincoln Riley with a
quarterback
with a Heisman potential quarterback. Granted, last year was the redheaded Spencer Rattler. They did not pan out. He's got a guy that panned out this year. But Michael Pratt last year outperformed Spencer Rattler by far. Tulane 8-1 right now against the spread in the last 9 games. Won 8 of their last 9 games. USC, they're not going to the playoffs. I'm sorry. They're going to have some high value players that they're going to opt out for this game. It's just happened. Now, the quarterback will play. But Tulane, they're here at the Cotton Bowl for a reason. And it's not just because of that high power offense. They have a good defense. They got NFL players on that defense, consisting of Dorian Williams and Nick Anderson. They are playing against the 5th ranked offense in the country with USC and the Heisman winner. I think this will be a shootout. It's going to come down to probably the last few minutes of the 4th quarter. Tulane will get a pick or a fumble or some type of turnover against the Heisman, and the green wave will flourish. I love Tulane in this game. Their team is meant to have this season. The way Michael Pratt, Tajay Spears, that defense, give it to them. Give it to them. This is what college football is all about. Tulane beating the USC Trojans.
I like it. Tip, you're a realist. Are we being real here or are we being biased? What do we got?
So here we go.
Oh, no.
USC lost to Utah twice this season.
Twice.
Utah and Tulane both have something in common. They both have good defenses.
What?
Utah's defense has given up 20 points per game this season and 325 total yards.
What?
Tulane's defense has given up 20 points per game this season and 342 total yards. Now, I know most people are going to say, but hey, Tip, doesn't Utah play a tougher schedule than Tulane since they play in the Pac-12? No, they absolutely do not. Other than these 2 wins against USC, Utah has lost their other 2 games against ranked opponents, UCLA and Oregon. They also lost to what is now like an average Florida team back in week 1 that we all know, Florida SEC, they win again. No, it turns out they're not very good this year. So what does that say about USC losing to Utah twice this season?
2 times.
2 times. Tulane has 2 wins against ranked opponents in the last 2 weeks in Cincinnati and UCF. And they've only lost 1 game against a ranked opponent, and that was UCF earlier in the regular season. And they beat the Pac-12 champs, Kansas State, back in week 3. Now, Kansas State wasn't ranked at the time, but I count that as a ranked win. So I'm not taking anything away from Utah. I think they're a very talented team. They've had a great season. I'm just saying Utah and Tulane, they both play similar styles of football. So Tulane is going to beat USC. And Jesse, I like that call. I think it's going to be USC is going to be driving at the end, trying to get. They're going to be down like 1, 2, 3 points or something, trying to get a field goal. Strip, sack, fumble by Tulane's defense ends the game. Can't wait for this game. Tulane wins the game.
I've never found you more attractive than right now.
Murph, thoughts?
My thought is
Cali boy.
The real tide is going to roll in that game. The green wave is going to take it down. Give me Tulane. Tajay Spears is special. That defense is unreal. I think they shut this University of Spoiled Children offense down. And I think Michael Pratt has another massive game, shows up when he needs to, and look out for that name for years to come.
And I'm pretty sure USC is like 106th right now in defense. Like their defense is atrocious. So Tulane should be putting up some points.
Typical Lincoln Riley defense. I'm going to add to your guys' story on the strip sack to win the game. They're going to zoom in on the quarterback's painted fingernails, where he's going to say F Tulane on his fingernails. They're going to be zooming in on it, talking about it, praising the guy for God knows what reason. And then immediately that hand with the F word written on it is going to get smacked. He loses the ball. Tulane recovers. And then Michael Pratt goes out there, victory formation, takes a knee. Michael Pratt outplays the Heisman Trophy winner.
Boom.
Give me Tulane, who, by the way, supremely underrated uniforms from the Tulane Green
Yeah.
Wave. Big fan of their color scheme.
Tide's going to roll in the Cotton Bowl, baby.
And then they all come back next year to do it again.
All right. So just real quick, I'm going to go around everybody, pick one game. Just give me a game or two. Give me the game. Give me a pick. And we'll go on to the next one. Start with the Swag Bear.
Cracker Jack in a box. Well, I'll tell you, the games that I have, I want to talk about UTSA and Troy. What?
Cracker Jack in a box?
Well, I'm always number one.
I'm going to have to use that one.
Well, UTSA Troy. We got to give this game attention. It's going to be playing this Friday. Besides Tulane, these are two arguably top group of 5 teams playing each other. We already preached about how we wish they're playing Power 5, but hey, can't get what you want. They're playing each other. Top offense against top defense. I picked it on the Fun Belt podcast. I'm gonna stay with it. I like UTSA. Sorry, Coach Summerall. Sorry, Evan. Frank Harris is special. Jeff's been talking about it all year. I don't see. And you know what? Actually, UTSA, they're still looking for their first bowl win, so they haven't had one yet. So I think they get it against Troy in the Cure Bowl. Big win by big game for Frank Harris and UTSA.
That's going to be such a good game.
Yeah. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Tip, what do you think? Give me a game and a pick.
I kind of like Louisiana against Houston. Now, Houston doesn't have the best defense, and we've seen how inconsistent they've been all season. I would not be surprised if Louisiana jumps out early against Houston. Houston gets frustrated. We've seen them get frustrated, and we've seen that team fold when they get frustrated. So I like Louisiana in that game. Also, from what Steeple PC was saying earlier, ECU favorite. Yeah, East Carolina favored by 10.5 against Coastal. I'll take Coastal plus 10.5, please. Thank you.
I have to get this out too because I said on the Fun Belt podcast, and I got to have it on our podcast. I'm calling that the bowl game fight for 2022 is going to happen with Houston versus Louisville. There will be some type of brawl that happens during that game. That's it.
Louisiana.
What'd I say?
Louisville.
Christ. You know, I said that, and I saw Jeff's eyes went all big into the sky, and I was thinking, like, God, what an asshole. But I was like,
we just start giving Jesse. They just don't say anything to him. We just got to give him his little eye roll.
I catch all the eye rolls
all the damn time.
Louisiana. I know Terry's going to hear that and probably just rip me to shreds on his voicemail. Sorry, Louisiana and Houston. There's going to be a brawl.
Murph, you going to give us some insight on the Blue Raiders or what?
Well, there's no question, but I do want to touch real quick on another bowl, a pretty cool storyline. Georgia Southern versus the Buffalo Bulls. Kyle Vantrease playing his former team. I think he goes off in that game. I think Georgia Southern covers the 3.5. But yeah, I'm going to go Hawaii Bowl. This is honestly, as much as I hate the Blue Raiders going to Hawaii, fans can't travel, difficult after going to the Bahamas Bowl last year. This is, honestly, I'm so excited for this matchup. Because you got San Diego State, who has a fantastic defense, and you got the Blue Raiders, won 4 out of their last 5 games, and this offense has looked good. I hope they get some of their injuries guys healthy and they can play. But Chase Cunningham, last hurrah. You got Jalen Lane, Frank Pizon. You got a lot of guys. Jordan Ferguson. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. And the key is right here. Jalen Maiden, San Diego State's quarterback. He has 62% on the year, 10 touchdown passes, 7 interceptions. The Blue Raiders are one of the top teams in the country of interceptions again this year. And it all starts up front with Zaylen Wood, Jordan Ferguson. They get pressure on the quarterback. It's going to cause errant throws to Corian Patterson, Trey Fluell, and them boys are going to get some turnovers and give me the Blue Raiders to ride a surfboard in Hawaii.
Is MTSU? Are we the new DBU? I mean, they just keep leading in interceptions.
I mean, say what you want. Kevin Byard, Javonte Moffitt,
Reed Blankenship.
Reed Blankenship now. Say what you want. If you're a DB, I don't know why you would leave middle. Just my opinion.
Well,
Track record
and
speaks for
you
itself.
look at last year's the leading interceptor in the country was Quincy Riley, was at Middle, and then he transferred to Louisville. He has had a great year at Louisville, though, from what I understand.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's got to come down to none other than Kenneth Gilstrap, the DB's corner coach.
Ain't no doubt about it. Shout out Strap. Turn it
I
around.
don't know who the safeties coach is. So, but anyway,
Sprouse, who you got?
Well, you guys took all my games. I was going to talk about Buffalo, Georgia Southern, only because I'm trying to convince my wife to let me go. She's unaware that it's on a Tuesday at 11 a.m. So just you guys wish me luck on that. I keep saying the date's on the 27th. What day? It's on the 27th. Just like it's a normal Saturday, and I go. But we shall see on that one. I'm going to try to go there. I think Georgia Southern's going to bring a bunch of people to that thing. I'm going to talk. Interesting game is Western Kentucky, South Alabama, in the New Orleans Bowl. We talked about it on the Fun Belt podcast. We talked about how Western, we thought that game last year with App State was going to be such a great game, and Western just went in there and scored at will. Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. South Alabama, if not for a one-possession loss to Troy, we're sitting here talking about them as one of the best teams in the group of five, potentially Sun Belt champions. Potentially, because if not for that loss, they would only have one loss. They might be playing USC.
Yeah.
But I think South Alabama's defense is too good. Interesting that Austin Reed announced he's coming back to Western, so they're gonna have a little fire, a little motivation there in that realm. So just like we talked about, it could be where Western just proves me completely wrong and they put up 60 points. But I'm going to take South Alabama in this game. I think they've had their best season in that program's history, and I think they're trying to add on to it, get an 11th win. 11th win without a conference championship. That's a damn good season for South Alabama. So give me the Jags in New Orleans. Now, I don't think they cover 7.5, but
it'll be a good game.
Give me the Jags. Should be a good one.
Probably last 3 minutes of the show, every bowl season, there's always those 2 or 3 games. You're just like, I cannot believe. Like last year, West Kentucky just demolishing App State. There's 2 or 3 games on here that it's going to shock the world. More of the Power 5 world because they don't really watch Group of 5 football. And I mean, I'm going to ask to go around the horn here, but I'm going to go ahead and use my shocking bowl win of the year. I'm going to say UConn.
Yeah.
UConn beats Marshall.
No doubt.
UConn beats Marshall in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. That's my upset.
No
Everybody's
doubt.
going to say, where did UConn come from? I know, Jeffrey.
Wrong.
I know. What do you got, Jeff? Who's your big upset of the year?
Big upset of the bowl season?
Bowl season, yeah.
I mean, I don't really think there's like a huge upset.
Because North Texas beat Boise State. I want someone to talk about it. Does North Texas go into Boise State and handle business?
No.
You don't think so?
I guess based on the lines, MTSU 7-point dogs.
Yeah, if you're gonna talk about an underdog,
the Blue Raiders. Are
Is
we
that
all
the
in
biggest
agreement the
one?
Blue Raiders beat SDSU?
UAB's favored by like 10 or 11,
That's
but I think they cover that, to be honest.
Yeah, they're going to run the ball like crazy.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I think ECU is going to beat the shit out of Coastal, dude. I do. Sorry, Steeple. I think his kid's going to break the record. I just think there's so much turmoil there. And like I think Jesse said it, McCall, he plays. He don't play defense. He didn't play on that defense that's given up 50 points the last 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean,
90 points.
Sorry, I tried to give you credit.
I know, but I can't do it to Jeff. Jeff made it. You can't do it all.
Now, I just think there's too much going on. Coastal's looked so bad the last 2 weeks. I cannot, in good faith, pick the Chanticleers to win that game. I'm looking at some of these games.
Eastern Michigan, they play really good on blue turf, so you watch out against the San Jose State, Jeff. Eastern Michigan.
Do they play good on blue turf?
That's not happening. San Jose State Spartans are going to cover.
I mean, when was the last time Eastern Michigan played on blue turf?
Right, never did. Well, their home turf is gray.
Yeah,
Eastern Michigan's. Yeah. So maybe. I mean, there's going to be a game on here like New Mexico State and Bowling Green or something. That's going to be such a great game.
Yeah,
four overtimes.
That's what I can't wait for. Isn't it the
11
Bahamas
a.m.
Bowl? Yeah, the Bahamas Bowl a couple years ago, I think Western Kentucky and somebody, they won on like a Hail Mary or something like that. But
It's here. This
it's
year
good stuff.
flew
You're gonna
by.
find out about some players that you didn't really know about. Not especially like you said, these fans that only watch.
Yeah.
They only watch the 2 games every Saturday, and that's all they watch. But anyway, that's all we got for you guys tonight. You guys make sure you hit like and subscribe. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Give us a 5-star rating. Do like Steeple and share with your friends and family. Have them watch the show. Have them hit like and subscribe. Share so we can, guys, we are trying to take this thing to the next level. We are trying to get Group of 5 guys at games weekly. We just need your help to do that. Best thing you could do is like, share, retweet, comment, tell your friends, all the above. So we definitely appreciate it. It has been fun. We'll be back to recap some of these bowl games. I think we should be back next week.
Yeah.
Pending everybody's schedule to recap a couple games and then just kind of chop it up a little bit. But so we got for you guys. Have a very, very Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. See ya.